Well, hello. I would like to welcome you to our regularly scheduled legislative update. I'm here with Roxanne Gould, our contracted lobbyist, and we would like to update you on a couple of things. But before we'll get to the bills, we had very exciting last week. We hosted how many?
For our lobby day?
Yeah.
About 200 members and student nurses. It was an excellent showing. We had the executive director of the Board of Registered Nursing. We had the Assembly Health Committee chairman. We had Senator Dodd. We had thought leaders that can impact nursing, your careers going forward, speaking to us, and more importantly, listening to us.
Which was wonderful, because then we learned that at least 1/3 of all the attendees, they did have follow-up meetings with legislators. So we were really pleased with the turnout. And now let's see how we can improve on all of that for next year. So what are we going to talk about today?
Well, first of all, the legislature is in full swing. We're in the second year of a 2-year session. The estimates are about nearly 5,000 bills that are being considered. There are hearings with like dozens, if not hundreds, of bills being analyzed and debated. But we are approaching a deadline which is resulting in lobbyists, lobby days, interested parties just filling the halls of the Capitol, trying to express their either support or opposition to some of the proposals that are out there.
And speaking of all the lobby days, ANAC, we were just invited to say hello to all the attendees for Nurse Practitioner Lobby Days on May 1st. So thank you, Teresa, and nurse practitioners, and I will be more than happy to stop by. The reason we are talking about it is that during our RN Day, we recognized all the coalition partners, and most of our coalition partners were present in the room. So we identified them, and we said how important it is to work with our coalition partners, especially in nursing, knowing how fragmented we are. So now, speaking of cooperation for nursing issues, we have the first success this week.
Absolutely.
What happened?
There are many, many bills that we're following and working on your behalf, but we want to bring two to your attention today. The first one is a partnership with the nurse midwives, AB 2682, and it was a bill that has been introduced and failed for the last 3 years, despite significant lobbying in support of it. But this week it passed.
The Assembly Business and Profession Committee, which is always, the first, the
first policy committee.
Yeah. So it just passed.
12-0.
So we're very happy to know that. And I know that yesterday I just sent you a little bit earlier today, I just sent you a little bit of update on that. The important part on this bill is that it is really bringing all the nursing organizations and the different specialties. It is bringing us together to work to advance at least one group of the APRNs, because we all know that full practice authority bills, they're coming back.
Absolutely.
In 2019.
And the significance of this is it really identifies to us and to you that one lobbying effort isn't always successful, but after 3 years of educating and informing members, it really came to fruition in this hearing, and we had bipartisan support of this bill with Republicans and Democrats weighing in support of the concept and saying that they will support it going forward. So we have great hope for it.
Absolutely. So the next step for the AB 2682 is Assembly Appropriation Committee, which will be coming up in May. And so we are already now working with nurse midwives and with nurse anesthetists and certified nurse specialists to bring again coalition together to send support letters and see how we can strategize to influence Assemblywoman Gonzalez Fletcher in order for her to accept the bill and to push the bill through her committee, right?
Absolutely.
Is that correct? All right. Next interesting thing, we've had a discussion on the legislative policy, on the legislative committee, on the geriatric medication technician bill, which is AB 2850. But you also know that late last night I sent you an update that the author, who is Assemblywoman Rubio, I wrote that she heard the rumbling.
And she's trying to be a thought leader in the health field, and I think she thought she was doing the right thing. On its face, it sounded as if it might make sense, but when you dug down into the reality of what was going to occur if the bill had been moved forward in its original position, it would have been very detrimental.
That we would create another category of healthcare provider, geriatric medication technician. It just didn't make any sense. So right?
Absolutely, no, that's right.
And also, like, you know, what is the safety, what is the education, what is the licensing, who would be overseeing it? It's really very problematic, and so we're really glad that she heard the rumbling, and she amended the text of the bill to now read nurse assistants training programs distance learning. So apparently there is 60 hours of coursework for certified nurse assistants to do. So now this bill reads that at least some portion of it should be done through distance on online learning. And I think that for next week there are scheduled more business and profession committee meetings and more Senate health meeting. So there are, I think, 38 other bills we're monitoring and watching. So we will do another session like this for you next week in about 10 days, and we will update you on what is going on then. And for now,
consider us a resource. If you're
Yes.
interested in any of the bills we're sending you, feel free to contact us, feel free to contact your legislators and express the support or concern of ANAC and its
Absolutely.
membership.
We are here for you, and so without you we couldn't do any of this work we do. So thank you very much for your dedication, for your efforts, and for your willingness to be part of this. And we will see you next week. Thank you.